Hello and welcome. This is In the News with Keith Lander coming to you from Dayton, Ohio, the Gem City as it once was called. In the News, we're a show that we talk about all types of news, international news, local news, and everything else in between. Well, this news cycle, of course, Kanye West, known as Ye now, is in the news. And of course, some statements that he made that was perceived to be anti-Semitic. We'll go over those in a few minutes. Also, the professional basketball player, Kyrie Irving. We will also touch base with what he alleged to do was so, as they say, anti-Semitic. But first, let's talk about Kanye, or Ye, as he's going by. I want to give him his proper name because that's what he said to call himself. Well, let's start. This all started back in October the 6th on Instagram, when now its post is deleted. But Kanye basically posted up, Jesus is a Jew, and he also posted up that Sean Diddy Combs was being used by Jewish people. And so, of course, that threat, that was taken down. And then on October the 9th, Kanye went to Twitter and said he was going to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. And of course, that was deleted. And then, he also made a statement that said black people are actually Jews. And he also, on October 15th, made a statement on a podcast called Drink Chimps.
Because if you don't have the connections, Trump had enough connections to make it into office, but he didn't have the Jewish media on his side because the Jewish media was already aligned with an agenda with the left, with the Chinese. So you got like Alex Baldwin dissing, Trump soon as he went in, used to be his boy. You got black people dissing Trump. Black people know they love Trump. Yeah. We used to have raps. Guess who the black Trump? Mm-hmm.
But he could have been better at messaging. That's what I feel like the rhetoric was just unnecessary sometimes.
It was, but it's that frustration. It's like what I had to learn is like that thing I said with DEFCON, that was like me going Trump, level.
Right. He also, on October 19th, on Piers Morgan Uncensored, he said he did not regret the anti-Semitic remarks.
You don't hold accountability to my pain. You're being a Karen.
I'm not a Karen.
To the pain.
I'm not a Karen, and I'm not going to cancel you, and I'm not going to uncensor you. I'm simply going to challenge you on what you're saying. I think you don't understand the pain that you've been causing with some of these comments. And I think that one in particular, I can understand.
Oh, my God. God forbid one comment could cause people to feel any of the pain that my people have went through for years. Even like the blacks being ushered to the left during the civil rights movement. No one has cared about black people.
All right.
No one is.
Let me say, I agree that the racism against black people has been utterly deplorable, shameful, unacceptable, and thank God the world is beginning to move to a better place about the way it has treated black people like you. However, one form of racism doesn't justify.
It's almost in a better place.
Well, one form of racism doesn't justify another.
It's not a better place.
I'm not cutting you off. I'm finishing my sentence so you can respond. One form of racism. It is racism when you say I'm going DEFCON for Jewish people.
I was in a position where I've been hurt, and this is the way I had the right to express myself. The point of this interview is for you to question me, and then for me to answer and say, okay, even though the same rules are not applied to my people, if a person with a gun or drugs is pulled over and has three other people in the car, they're all going to jail. I'm not going to apply that to Jewish people for the sake of this conversation. Isn't that what you wanted? But you know what you did? You tried to civil rights me. You tried to pull me back to a week ago, but we're here today. There's been plenty of conversations and commentary since that, but you want me to go back to 1960.
No.
You want me to go back to 7 days ago.
All right, let me jump in. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to reflect.
Okay, so have we grown? Have we grown?
Here's how we grow. Yeah, here's how we grow. I want you to
No,
reflect.
have we grown?
I'm about
have
to-
we grown?
I'm
You're
about-
not in charge of my growth. You're not in charge of
I'm
my
about
growth,
to.
Chris.
Okay,
Like,
let me
we
phrase it
grow.
like this. I'm about to suggest to you how you may grow if you choose to grow this way. And you
Why?
can ignore me. You can ignore me.
Pierce, how much money are you worth?
Not as much as you, sadly.
Exactly. So take my advice. Maybe you'll get richer.
I would love to take your business advice.
Why would I listen to you?
Well, why do you hear what my advice is and then work out if I'm wrong? Can we do that deal?
Well, the thing is, you haven't given me any credit or a moment of reflection for the comparison that I made, the brilliant, if I do say so myself, comparison that I made to the cops pulling over one black person and locking
I
everyone
understand
up.
what you're
and my
saying.
tweet having issues. Wait a second, I wasn't done with the sentence. My tweet referring to all Jewish people, I said, for the sake of this conversation, I will refer to the business people who have destroyed me and my people and my fellow creatives. But you didn't even accept that I gave you that. You tried to push me back into 1960.
No, I
you
didn't.
tried to push me back into last week.
No, I didn't.
Okay,
I
do you accept that example that I gave you?
I understand completely the example you gave me. I think all racism is wrong.
So I feel that we've grown.
I would like you to reflect.
I feel that we've grown.
If
Do you feel we've grown?
If you've now changed what you wanted to say originally, my question for you is: do you now regret saying
I update
DEFCON
every
3
day.
on Jewish
update-
people? Are you sorry you said that?
No.
I think it matters. You should be.
Absolutely not. You know, I will say I'm sorry for the people that I hurt with the DEFCON, the confusion that I call. I feel like I cause hurt and confusion. And I'm sorry for the families of the people that had nothing to do with the trauma that I had been through, and that I use my platform where you say hurt people, and I was hurt.
It's an uncensored interview. You said something which you've now wished you hadn't said, and you've apologized. I actually think that says a lot about you, right? That shows you've got that ability to be self-aware, to understand when you cross a line. I think someone like you, with all your energy and creativity and your passion, you're going to say stuff. The way that you talk constantly and in such an extraordinary manner, you're going to trip up. You're going to say things the wrong way. I don't think there's anything wrong in when you do that, doing what you just did and saying, look, I'm sorry, I crossed a line, I apologize.
I want to say that it's wrong to hold an apology hostage, and I got to let go of that and free myself of the trauma and say, look, I'm just going to give it all up to God right now and say to those families that I hurt, I really want to give you guys a big hug, and I want to, I say I'm sorry for hurting you with my comments, and I want to word it in not in like a political way, but in a presidential way, which means what I knew a president to be when I was growing up.
But he subsequently apologized to the people he hurt with the DEFCON comment. Now, let's look into some of the stuff that Kanye said. Now, back in 2020, Ice Cube, the rapper, the actor, Ice Cube, he posted up on his Twitter account that Jewish people run the world and that they they made money off the backs of African slaves. Now, you didn't hear all the outlash and negative feedback from the Anti-Defamation League as it related to Ice Cube, did you? So, we're going to move on. Let's talk about this DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. Now, we all know that we hear lyrics in music and song and whatever. Let's replace that DEFCON 3 instead of Jewish people. Let's replace that with, if he would have said, I'm going DEFCON 3 on them niggas. Huh? Would have got the same outcry? Would anybody got upset? Would anybody be hollering for us? His apology with all these companies, with these companies who are dropping Kanye, with Adidas and these other companies, would have dropped Kanye West for saying, I'm going DEFCON 3 on them niggas? I don't think so. So if these companies wouldn't drop Kanye West for saying, I'm going DEFCON 3 on these niggas, Why you dropping when he say I'm going DEFCON 3 on the Jewish people? Don't black folk deserve the same level of respect, the same level of as they say, protecting our culture as the Jewish people do? I don't have a problem with, I'm not anti-Semitic. I don't like anti-Semitic stuff. I don't like anti-black stuff. I don't like anti-any of that stuff. I ain't on board on prejudice, discrimination, but we gotta keep it real. We can't pick and choose who we gonna come out and who we gonna go against and who we ain't gonna say nothing about, right? Let's take this other statement, you know what I mean? Where he said, I think he made the statement that black folks were Jewish or Hebrew. That's true. I mean, look that up. I mean, there were black Hebrews, right? Look at your Bible. I ain't making this stuff up. You know what I mean? So we gotta look at this thing for what it is. You know what I mean? We gotta look at it and say, okay, Kanye West said a whole bunch of stuff that, you know, I didn't agree with. Some of the stuff sound outlandish, but when you look into it, and he says, and I'll repeat, he talked about the black voice as far as the music industry. Let's get into it, folks. I'm gonna tell you who own the largest companies of the probably 90% of the world's media. And if you look at the largest media conglomerate is Walt Disney Company, right? Walt Disney Company. Walt Disney owned cable networks. They own TV. They got 14 million subscribers and video production companies. Walt Disney also owns Touchstone Pictures, Hollywood Pictures, Caravan Pictures. They also own Miramax Films. They also own 225 affiliated stations in the United States and several over European TV companies. ABC, they own that cable subsidiary. They also owns ESPN. And if you ever watched ESPN 1, 2, 3, whatever with ESPN you want to look at, they bring these rappers on and try to get these rappers to say, commentate about some sporting events. You know why they bring those rappers on? It's because Walt Disney Corporation also owns that ESPN, and they also own music labels, right? So some of these rappers are owned by that Walt Disney Corporation, and it's broke all the way down. So the bottom line is that that's the largest conglomerate largest conglomerate media outlet. That's the Walt Disney Corporation. Now, besides that, they have also some radio stations, 11 AM radio stations, 10 FM stations, you know, and over 3,400 affiliate stations. And so you got to look at it, folks. And you know who's the second largest media outlet? Time Warner. Now, Time Warner also owns HBO. HBO is the largest paid TV cable network. And Warner Brothers is by far the largest record company with 50 labels. Warner Brothers Records and also Warner Music Group. Now, the Warner Music Group, they are the ones who came in and started paying these young artists, mostly black, to come up with this gangster style rap. They were the first one to start promoting this stuff. That was Warner. These companies were ran by Jewish individuals. Some of them are still are, right? So that's not a lie. That's not anti-Semitic. That's truth, you know? So if we're talking truth, and that's what we're talking here, you know, nobody or no group is beyond criticism, right? And so if what you're doing and you're Jewish and what you're doing is wrong and it's pointed out what you're doing, then don't come back and say it's anti-Semitic, right? Don't say that. I heard Minister Farrakhan say it one time, you know, and yeah, I'm bringing up Minister Farrakhan. And they go, oh, no, not Minister Farrakhan. Yeah, I've heard Minister Farrakhan speak, and I read some of his literature, and some of those same Jewish organizations deemed him anti-Semitic. But the bottom line was, Minister Farrakhan challenged him. He said, if what you hear me say out of my mouth, if you can prove it's false, prove it about the Jewish people and them saying what he's saying is anti-Semitic. It hasn't been proven yet, folks. It hasn't been proven yet, whether you like Minister Farrakhan or don't. The bottom line is, he said, prove what I said is false about some of these Jewish people. He didn't point to do a blanket statement and say all Jewish people. He said some, and he names them, right? And also, Minister Farrakhan tells in one of his lectures how he was called by some rabbis and some other higher-ups in the Jewish community, wanted him to apologize and to remain friends with them, right? And Minister Farrakhan said, I would love your friendship, but if gaining your friendship, I have to denounce the truth, I don't need it. And I'm paraphrasing that. Now, you can look it up yourself. But I'm just saying, let's get back to these record labels. These conglomerates. The other is Viacom. Viacom, they're the fourth largest media outlet in the world, basically. They have television stations. They got 3 of the largest networks owned by 12 stations and 12 radio stations. It produces films through Paramount Pictures. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with Paramount Pictures. They also owns Showtime, MTV, Nickelodeon, and some other networks. And these companies are huge, folks. And they're so huge and so large that it's hard to track down who's under what. But just do a Google search. Just get your old cell phone out and type in who owns what. It'll pop up. It's real easy. And that company is ran by a Sherry Redstone. She is I think the daughter or the granddaughter of the individual who started Paramount Pictures. And so, let me get down to number 5. There's Rupert Murdoch News Corporation. That who owns that Fox News stuff. He's not a Jew, but he's not Jewish. But that crap he puts on his station, that's pure garbage. That's that Rupert Murdoch Fox News, what they call Fox News, which is Fox garbage, which is propaganda for one arm of the political party, which is the Republican Party, who followed Donald Trump and all that other kind of stuff and backed what Donald Trump was saying, even though it was a lie. And let's talk. We're gonna talk about this anti-Semitic stuff here in a minute. As soon as I get finished with these other corporations, Sony Corporation is number 5 in the list of big media conglomerates. All right, Sony Corporation. It's a Japanese corporation. They're huge. They own so much stuff. It'd take me all day to say what they own. But the bottom line here, folks, is when it comes down to the film production, there are 5 largest motion picture companies, and Disney, Warner Brothers, Sony, Paramount, Universal, they own 70% of the motion picture industry. And I can tell you, I'd be honest to say, 80% of these corporations are headed by people who claim they are Jewish. That's a fact. Now, if you want to label me anti-Semitic, prove me wrong. That's all I'm saying. Just prove me wrong. And so, and then when Kanye talked about the music industry, let me bring this up, folks. In the music industries, there's 3 companies that own 80% of all the American music in the market. Sony Music Group, Universal Music Group, and Warner Music Group. Sounds similar to the same folks that own all these large media conglomerates, right? You're getting the connection here, right? So now let's go down the list. Sony Corporation here in the United States, the CEO is Rob Stringer. He's also Jewish, all right? When it comes down to the Universal Music Group, Lucien Grange is his name. He's the CEO. He's Jewish. And this Universal Music Group, they follow the Warner Music Group, producing the most gutter music when it comes to African Americans. They're the one that's paying these artists to come out and use the most gutter terms that relates to black women, use the most violent terms when it comes to other black people, and you hear it in music all the time. They always talking about, hey, kill them niggas, do this to them niggas, nigga this, and nigga. I mean, man, you want to talk about your culture being assassinated, and then they put the videos out. They pay these young artists, you know, they give them this money, and these young artists, they happy to perform, not knowing what they're doing. It's basically putting a stereotype out there on black folks that this is the way we act, this is the way we talk, this is our culture, wearing your pants half down on your behind. And these companies who are paying these artists, these companies, the large ones, are run and backed by Jewish people. That's a fact. That's an absolute fact. You can disagree with it if you want to, but it's an absolute fact, right? That's the Universal. Sony Music Group, like I said, I brung them up. They're the same thing. Even their chief operating officer of Sony is Kevin Keller. He's also Jewish. Warner Brother, the music group, which is the president and the CEO, is Stephen F. Cooper, who is also Jewish. And so, folks, look at it this way. You know, if black folks would criticize those who demean us, those who say negative stuff about us, those who, you know, portray us out in the media as criminals and thugs and all that other kind of nonsense. If we would run around hollering for apologies from all these people, boy, we wouldn't have no time to eat. I can tell you that. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to bring that up, people. I mean, this stuff, it's easy to run down. And let me say one more thing about people making anti-Semitic remarks. Donald Trump in 2019, Donald Trump, doing a speech to the Israeli American Council, told those assembled, a lot of you are in the real estate business. This is Donald Trump.
We'll be back 2 days later. So we're going to spend $2 billion. And one of them is going to buy a lousy location. A lot of you are in the real estate business because I know you very well. You're brutal killers, not nice people at all, but you have to vote for them. You have no choice. You're not going to vote for Pocahontas, I can tell you that.
A lot of you are in the real estate business because I know you very well. You're brutal killers, not nice people at all, but you have to vote for me. You have no choice. He summarized his point by saying, people would have to support him out of financial self-interest. He also went on to say, even if you don't like me, and some of you don't like me at all, actually, and are you going to be my biggest supporter because you're out of business? No, he said, you're going to be my biggest supporter because you're out of business in about 15 minutes if Democrats win the election, he said. Now, Donald Trump can say to the to the Jewish people to their face, you're brutal killers and you're not nice people. Now, is that anti-Semitic? Did we hear the ADL come out and demand Donald Trump apologizing for calling Jewish people brutal killers? Did we hear the ADL come out and tell Donald Trump, you need to apologize for calling us not nice people? Brutal killers is what Donald Trump called these people in 2019. Jewish people. Didn't hear the Anti-Defamation League, did you? Remember that rally in Charlottesville a few years ago when they was marching with those tiki torches, those Nazis, talking about Jews will not replace us?
Jews will not replace us! Jews will not replace us!
Universities, the torch-wielding white nationalists coming face-to-face.
A demonstration by white nationalists at the University of Virginia in Charlottesville.
They put themselves down as you, and you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
And all this other hateful anti-Semitic speech that them folks down there was marching and protesting, them old crazy Nazi people and the white supremacists. Donald Trump held, it was a press conference held by Donald Trump, and the reporter asked Donald Trump to denounce those Nazis in Charlottesville, and Donald Trump said there were very fine people on both sides. He called Nazi carrying tiki torches, hollering Jews will not replace us, nice. Did we hear from the ADL to say, hey, Donald Trump, you need to apologize? No, you didn't hear it, did you? But they want Kanye West to get on his knees and apologize and kiss their feet. They want Kyrie Irving to get on his knees and apologize and kiss their feet and some other nonsense. And that leads me to my next section, Kyrie Irving. Because what they doing to Kyrie Irving, that don't make any sense. And here's the thing about Kyrie Irving. This is what got him all in, what got all uproar. He posted up a documentary. The documentary that he posted up, it was titled From Hebrew to Negro. Now, the documentary, folks, is being sold on Amazon. The book is being sold on Amazon. Kyrie Irving posted up just the promotion, right? Now, Kyrie Irving didn't say whether or not he agreed with what's all in the video, all in the documentary. He didn't say whether or not, that he disagreed with everything in the documentary. He didn't make the documentary. But if they're going to talk about Kyrie Irving posting up the documentary, why ain't you saying something about Jeff? What's his name? Jeff? Bezos. Bezos. Why ain't you saying nothing about Jeff Bezos, who's making money off of selling Hebrews to Negroes? And if what's in this documentary is so bad, right? If what is so anti, and I haven't seen it, I may disagree with parts of it when I do see it. If what's in there is so bad, this thing been being sold on Amazon for a long time. It just didn't pop up. It just didn't pop up yesterday or pop up when Kyrie Irving seen it. It's been there for a while. Jeff Bezos been making money off of it for a while, selling it on Amazon, the book and the and the trailer. I mean, the movie itself. And so the bottom line is, folks, is that when Kyrie Irving did have enough sense to go out and apologize, all right, he apologized. I don't know what he apologized for. He posted up a video that some folks disagreed with, said it was anti-Semitic, right? Okay, so he said, sorry, I posted it up. But the bottom line is, when all these people start making all this claim about it, and according to the New York Times, Amazon now is considering adding a disclaimer to the film. So now Jeff Bezos gonna add a disclaimer to the documentary. And the bottom line is this: what the ADL said last week. It says they viewed the film as anti-Semitic, sent a letter to Amazon urging the Seattle-based tech company to remove the film and the book from its platform. All right. Now, what happened with that is that the book and the version has catapulted to number 46 on the best-selling list overall, right? And first in Christian education category, as well as the Black and African American biographies as of Monday. So, and it has became, check this out, folks, the film has become the top-selling documentary on Prime Video. So, y'all thought y'all was going to beat Kyrie Irving down for posting up the video. Y'all thought wasn't nobody going to go watch the video. What you did was you caused everybody to go watch the video, because I didn't even know where the video was or if that was out there. And that's when Kevin Durant, who plays basketball with the New Jersey Nets with the Kyrie Irving, that's why he said that it was handled wrong. He said this thing should have been handled quietly, because Kevin Durant knew the publicity you give to a documentary like this is people will be attracted to watch it, and it'll make more money for those who made the documentary. So you played right into those who you call it anti-Semitic. You played right in their hands into filling their bank accounts. You got to be smart about this stuff, Jewish people. I ain't saying you're not smart, but in this case, I think you made a blunder, right? I think you made a blunder. So, that's the bottom line on that. Now, as a matter of fact, let me. I got some other music labels that I wanted to go over. Def Jam Records, which is owned and operated by Paul Rosenberg, who is Jewish and the president of it. All right, Def Jam Records. Y'all got that? Now, also Interscope Records, which is the co-founder is Jimmy Loving. All right. Now, These records, I'm telling you folks, they put out people like Sean Combs and Jay-Z. Jay-Z and Sean Combs, they're all under the Universal recording group. They got label. They don't have the distributorship, right? They can't distribute jack. Prince told y'all about that. When Prince was under that record label, Prince said, hey man, I can't control my music. You know what I mean? They can distribute my music any way they want to do it. I need to be the distributor of the music. I need to have all the rights to the music, right? That's why Prince wrote Slave on his jaw, because he figured he's a slave to the person who distributes his music, because he had no control over that. Michael Jackson went through the same thing, right? And so just because Jay-Z and them all, they got big money, ask them, do they run the distributorship? Can they distribute anything? All right? You see, Master P had it right. Master P was distributing his own stuff. He didn't go to all these other companies to distribute his music. He did it himself, all right? And then I don't know what happened to Master P. I think they had a meeting with Master P, and he shut down operation quick, didn't he? So, but the bottom line is that not only this Griffin Records, that's David Griffin, who is also Jewish, and you talking about some negative songs about black people. Giffen, my fault. I pronounced his name wrong. Yeah, Gavin, yeah. You talking about some negative and boy, demeaning stuff under that label, man. Some of this stuff should be obscene and you know what I mean? And yet we dance to it. You see, we dance to it. See, the reason why they don't say let's go kill black people, you never heard that before, have you? They use the word nigger. You know who also, when they get ready and get mad and want to go out and kill black folk, you know, them racist, white supremacists. You know what they say? Let's go kill some niggas. All right? And then you got black folks over here dancing around to let's go kill some niggas. All right? So now we're implanting in black folks' subconscious that we're no longer black, we're niggers now. And it's easy to destroy niggers because they assume that a nigger is not black. You see what I'm saying? See how this thing work out? It's easy to destroy niggas. But when you say, hey, let's go kill them black folks, you say, hey, wait a minute, I'm black. Huh? You see what I'm saying? That's why these record labels have this stuff like it. That's why they're trying to destroy Kanye West, because they know if Kanye West, Sean Combs, Jay-Z, and a couple of Rick Ross, if they all pool their money together, and if they all said, hey, all these artists we got signed underneath our label, under Universal, whichever, we ain't gonna have them sing with y'all no more. Y'all kill them contract, we building our own. And we gonna distribute our own music. And it's gonna be positive music. That'll affect the wealth of these people. It'll affect the wealth of these people, and it'll shake the foundation of the music industry. And they know that could happen, right? They know it could happen because, like I say, whether you like Kanye West or not, the bottom line is the man was a genius when it came to fashion. He was a genius when it came to music. And he was a genius when it came to promoting his music in his outlet. And these people knew about that, right? They knew as long as they make money from Kanye, you go ahead and talk all that negative stuff you want to say, Kanye. When you making money, go ahead and talk about them black folk. Go ahead and talk about them killing them Negroes. Go ahead, them niggas as they call it. Go ahead, Kanye. But then when Kanye said, wait a minute, I'm going to put the spotlight on these Jewish people who are paying these artists to put out this negative, sinister garbage over the airwaves. And our people, it affect our black folks in the most negative way. Then they got a problem. Now, Kanye, now you anti-Semitic. Well, hell, y'all anti-black. That's what it looked like. If you wasn't anti-black, you wouldn't put this garbage out. All these record labels. You know what I'm saying? So the bottom line is, folks, we gotta wake up. We can't be jumping on Kanye West. We can't be jumping on Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving done apologize, and that's it. That's all they should get. All these other conditions. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. Man, the hell with that. The heck with that, man. Donald Trump didn't apologize for nothing. They didn't put no conditions on what Donald Trump said about the Jewish people, and he called them brutal killers. Huh? Brutal killers is what Donald Trump called the Jewish people. To their face. To their face. Until this day, I haven't seen nobody no rabbi, nobody from the Anti-Defamation League, nobody stand up and say, Donald Trump, you need to apologize, otherwise we're going to withdraw our support. I didn't hear him come out when Donald Trump sided up with the Nazis, hollering Jews will not replace us with tiki torches down in Carolina, down in Charlotte. Didn't hear that, did you? Man, some hypocrisy going on around here, you know. As Joe Madison, the Black Eagle, he's on Sirius XM. He always says, "Put it where the goats can get it," and that's mean bringing it down where you can understand what's being said. Now, Kanye West also had a shirt on. Him and Candace, what's that lady name? Candace Owens, I think that's her name. Had a White Lives Matter T-shirt on. Well, you know who owned the rights to that White Lives Matter slogan now? Two black dudes, all right? Two black radio hosts in Arizona. Could be a potential roadblock if Kanye West ever decides to sell his White Lives Matter T-shirts in the United States. Now, Ramus J. and Quentin Ward, the host of a weekly racial justice radio show, Civic Cypher, became the legal owners of the phrase and trademark for the use of clothing. Now, they got it from another guy who were names. They're not going to tell his name, the person who gave it to them, and he let them do it and let them trademark it, and so they own it. It's one of their callers, and they're not going to disclose who that person is, but they own the rights to White Lives Matter. And this is one thing the ADL do have right. The Anti-Defamation League has categorized that hate slogan, the phrase used by white supremacist groups, including the Ku Klux Klan, and describes a racist response, I should say, to the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, they also have a patent and a trademark. It's been patented and trademarked, so if anybody try to use any of those White Lives Matter on their shirts, you could be sued by these two individuals. And they did that because they didn't want that label going into hands of somebody else. And I applaud them for doing that. And the person who gave them that idea, I applaud that person also. So that's the way we need to go about this thing, folks. And let me tell you about some of these people on TV that was jumping all over Kyrie Irving, talking about, oh, he should apologize. Oh, he's an idiot. You heard them, Charles Barkley's and Shaquille O'Neal's and Shannon Sharp's, and they all jump on the bandwagon. Oh, you know what I mean? Oh, he shouldn't have said that. Oh, man. Look, put it this way. Sometimes, we love money so much that we'll turn a blind eye to what's right. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes we love that money. I don't care if you got $1 billion. You want $1 billion and one. And boy, if they come to you and put a microphone in front of your face and ask you some old crazy questions, they paying you billions of dollars, and you say, "Hey, well, Kiefer, you're a billionaire. You know what I mean? Is there racism in America?" Huh? And they put that microphone in front of your face, and you thinking, "Whoo, well, I got billions of dollars. I don't want to lose it." You come up with some old flimsy excuse. No, I ain't seen none. Well, you must have forgotten. You wasn't always a billionaire, right? Most of y'all was poor at one time, right? And just because you may not have seen it doesn't mean it don't exist. You got it? So let's stop playing games. And let's be cautious the next time. They want to parade one of our brothers out there and talk about how ignorant he is and talk about how crazy he is. Let's sit back and wait. Don't jump on the bandwagon. That's designed to separate us. We can disagree and we can still support each other. You don't agree with everything your pastor say or your reverend say or your rabbi say at the service. But you go back to the same house of worship the next Sunday. You put your money in the collection plate or whichever, don't you? You don't say, I ain't going back, that reverend terrible. He said some stuff I didn't like. Don't cover your neighbor's wife. And you over there waiting on your neighbor husband to go to work. Then you slide on over there. Yeah? That's stepping on your toes, ain't it? But you go back, don't you? Put your money in the plate, pay the reverend's salary. So let's not get hung up on all this stuff, y'all. You know what I mean? If it's true, and whatever religion, whatever faith, whatever ethnic background you want to claim, you go ahead and claim it. But just because somebody says something that you don't like about a group of people doesn't mean you have to try to destroy that individual, which is what some of these Jewish people are trying to do to Kyrie Irving and also Kanye West. All right? So I'm going to leave it at that. I think I've said enough. Who knows? This may be my last show too. But I guarantee you it won't. I can tell you that. Because what I said today is truth. And you can research it, and you can research it, and you can research it. And I guarantee you, you'll come to the same conclusion that I have. All right? So let's think about that. And let's have some conversation. You know what I mean? Let's have conversation on not only anti-Semitic, but also let's have some conversation on anti-black. Let's have some conversation on who's paying all these artists to say this gutter stuff about black folks. Because you can't find it in other ethnic group. You can't find people saying the same thing that they say on these rap records about Jewish people, about Latino people, about white people, about any other group but black people. We need to examine why is that. Maybe that'd be another show at another time. All right. Well, I'm going to end it right here. May God bless you and your family.